What's good, y'all? Look, I know y'all seen my last video. Everyone agrees that this was the worst boxing match we've ever seen. Like, this, it was free and I want my refund. That's how bad it was, bro. Let me see what people got to say about this, bro.
Alright, fellas. Well, that basically just went as expected. We just saw Mike Tyson return to the ring against Jake Paul in their highly anticipated bout.
And embarrassed himself.
I talked about how we all needed to come back down to reality a bit. And I think that's exactly what we saw here. A reality check. In what was a perfect case study in effective marketing, we saw a bloke who, although I would give him his flowers for getting in there, shouldn't have been in the ring at all. It was a disgrace that this—
He shouldn't have been in the ring. He's an old man, bro. Like, look at him. He was gassed by the third round. Him too. Jake Paul was gassed too. I'm not letting him fool me. He was gassed, bro.
Was actually sanctioned by a professional body. So I want to talk about the fight week, the fight itself, and really where do we go from here?
The slap the night before was more. It was better than the fight itself. The slap from the night before was better than the fight itself. And that speaks volume. Like, I don't get it.
Like this means for boxing. And just before we get into that, if you love everything boxing, you've found yourself in the right place. I'm Cloister and I make boxing videos to help keep you in the loop.
I remember that.
So make sure to subscribe to always stay informed. The fight between Jake and Tyson I don't think will be remembered for the fight, more so as a masterclass in marketing. Everyone, including myself, was excited to see Tyson get back in the—
Bro, I was excited. I made skits about this that went viral. I was the biggest advocate for this fight. Didn't they say the fight was supposed to happen in July? This thing happened November 15th on a Friday night. I was home on my Friday night to watch this garbage ass fight. No, bro. No. Netflix, y'all gotta do something. I need my time back. I need my time back for real from this fight.
Yeah, the concept of reality and time seemed to evade quite a few. In the lead up for the fight, we all saw the clips of Tyson. It was the smart thing to do, record and cut up 15-second clips of pad work and sparring to make him look like the Mike of old. It brings a lot of eyes and it brings hope. And I think going into fight week, it was clear that the narrative that we were being fed might not be so true.
They clickbait all of us.
When uploading my last video, I had the upload screen on one page and the public workouts on the other. In watching the public workouts, I think that was when what a lot of us feared really rung home. After a minute of pad work, Tyson looked tired and out of breath. No amount of gasping from his coach could convince us otherwise. It was clear the footage we were seeing didn't match up with reality. At the next press conference, Tyson looked out of it and not interested. Which, fair enough, the bloke's been doing media for the last—
He never looked like he really wanted to do this. He never looked like he really wanted to do it for some reason. It seems as if he never even really wanted to fight. Like, he's just doing it. He don't look excited. He don't look amped up, energetic, or anything. It's like Jake Paul's the one who's ready because he know he's gonna, you know what I'm saying, his name's gonna get bigger. Mike Tyson don't give a damn from what I've seen.
Months, I think most of us would be too. The weigh-in showed both of them in good enough shape and of course brought that iconic slap, which was nice to see but didn't really mean nothing except producing probably the best photo from the whole event. And then that brought us to fight night. I won't talk too much about the undercard and let me know if you want to see any in-depth videos about any of the other fights. Yet my highlights of the whole event were the two fights before the main event.
This fight right here was the fight of the night. Best fight from two females I ever seen. Best fight. She got robbed again. This fight was good too. The two Mexicans, that was a good fight. Way more entertaining. That was a real boxing match.
Great performance against Barrios, pushing the fight to a draw. A great fight for the fans, which I hope will see a rematch. While also the co-main—
Mike Tyson's fight was just a part two of the Mayweather and Logan Paul fight. That's all it was. That fight was garbage. It was garbage. There was no knockouts were allowed. It was a sparring match, bro, an expedition.
Truly should have been the main event. Taylor versus Serrano 2 brought all the action. In what was the best fight that you could make currently in women's boxing? I would say close result, yes. Robbery, no. Personally, I would have had Serrano up by a round, but you look at some of the fan scoring on BoxRec, even they have it as a draw. Yet the commentators were simply horrendous, making it seem like Katie lost every single round in the way they called it a robbery. They simply undermined her victory. You can't expect much more. They're MVP commentators and Serrano is MVP's pride and joy. MVP, of course, being the promotional company putting on the show. But no matter how you have it, it was simply a win for women's boxing and boxing as a whole,
Shout out to both of them.
unlike the main event. In my last video, I talked about how it
this piece of shit lost me.
Tyson's balance from the get-go, and I think that told the whole story. Jake in the first couple rounds was incredibly cautious because obviously he didn't know what sort of Tyson was going to come out. It was clear though when Jake hit him with a couple punches, he almost stumbled. His legs simply weren't there anymore. The Paul camp really from this point played politics. They probably had a few different game plans going in. If Tyson was going to come out and actually fight, they would have put it on him. Yet if he came out looking not so great, they had a plan for that also. Although it was Jake's mission to become the most hated man in the sport again, knocking out this Mike Tyson would have been more of a PR disaster than it was worth. Not all attention is good attention at that level. Tyson's movement was gone. He didn't have the ability to angle or close the distance. He stayed stationary.
It was terrible. I watched the whole fight. Round 1 and 2, he looked good. And after round 3, the match was over. After round 3, the match was over. That's how bad it looked. Like round 3 it was dead after that.
He threw a couple shots whenever Jake got close. A lot of people were questioning also why he was biting his gloves.
Biting his gloves the whole
instinct as he used to do it. It was a bit more normal though when he followed up with a few punches. Not as normal when he's just standing there eating his gloves. It's a credit to Tyson for him getting back in the ring. Although the questions and fingers have to be pointed to everyone which allowed this to happen. You have to give Jake Paul some props for not being stupid enough to knock him out, but surely everyone who said that this Tyson looked amazing in sparring was lying through their teeth. Like to much of Tyson's career were the people who were enabling...
That's the Mike Tyson he should have fought. If he would have fought that Mike Tyson, bro, oh my god.
Just there to get their payday? I'll let you decide. Where do we go now though? Let's first talk Tyson. Simply, I don't want to see him back in the ring ever again. He said he feels like he's got more...
I don't want to see him fight ever again, bro, because he's just ruining his career. Because that loss is now on his career to Jake Paul. That should have never been
after the fight. And to be honest, anyone would feel that after the check he just got. Although nobody wants to see him in there with someone like Logan Paul. Also, in the post-fight interview, Logan could have been...
Logan Paul straight up humiliated Mike Tyson. Mike, I'll kill you. What? We just gonna allow him to say that? Mike Tyson laughed it off. He said, it's on then. Bro, do you know who this man is?
When Mike said he's next. Yet in classic Logan fashion,
said he would kill Mike Tyson. Iron Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet. And we just laughed it off. He's ruining his career. I wanted to turn off my TV after seeing that. It was absolutely outrageous.
This being a bit of a prick.
If
Tyson wants to fight again, it has to be something closer to the Roy Jones exhibition, where it's him versus someone similar in age and it's just a bit of fun. Nothing with true serious potential consequences. But preferably, I just want to see him healthy, not in the ring and enjoying his life with his family. For Jake though, it's a bit more interesting. Although this was a huge event, I don't think this raises his stock at all. Where he turns next will certainly be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if he enters the PFL and has an MMA fight. Probably the biggest check he could get, and it would give some time for people to forget about this fight.
After the fight, I heard him say, they asked Jake, didn't you call out Canelo? And he said, I'm not going to say Canelo's name. He needs me. Let's push that. I want to see that happen, for real. Someone
in terms of other boxing opponents, there's not too many out there. There's not really any MMA fighters left. No one wants to see him against a journeyman, and I don't think anyone would want to see him in the ring against another retired fighter again. There are only a few possibilities that immediately come to mind. Of course you have KSI and Tommy Fury, although rumour on the street is that they're going to rematch soon, and if that happens both parties are off the table. While additionally those fights have been historically almost borderline impossible to make anyway. You have MVP stableman Niraj Goyat who is on the undercard, yet Niraj is fighting at 164 pounds and
he humped his opponent. Personally, I wouldn't allow that to happen. He humped him in the corner in front of the whole world.
No one wants to see that. My God. MVP should be smart enough to look at that performance and go, nah, that's not it. What I think there's some potential in is a matchup against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Jake would drop down to cruiserweight or bridgerweight. Chavez is technically active although washed up, and it would be framed as Paul is finally versing a real boxer. And in this world of boxing, I wouldn't be surprised if somehow it's for a bridgerweight world title. The belt organizations love their sanctioning fees, and that would make them a lot of money in a division which is bringing none. But to end this off though, this was far from a glamorous performance at the end of the day. Reality struck, and although it didn't end as badly as many of us were bracing for, I think it needs to be questioned.
He said right before the fight, when he was walking in the locker room with his ass out, post-interview, they said, how was the fight going to go? Vicious win. Vicious win. Vicious win.
How did this fight pass
That was
so
not a
many
vicious
checks
win,
that
Mike.
actually happen?
Mike,
Obviously,
that
people
was not a
knew
vicious
that Tyson
win.
wasn't truly fit to fight a professional fight. And why did they allow this to happen? I hope there isn't going to be too much of a revisionist
Terrible.
history take on the fight. Yet I know many who were peddling a false narrative which they knew deep down wasn't right and were misleading their audience probably will. Yet, I guess that's what you gotta kinda expect.
I knew when it was free, it was going to be bullshit. What headline pay-per-view do you know is free? Tell me. Nothing is free. That's headline pay-per-view. And they put it on Netflix. Not even Hulu. Not even Disney Plus. Netflix. The lowest out of all of them.
Guys, I
That's
want
why it
to
was
now hear what
garbage.
you think about this fight as a whole. I want to hear it all. Or your
That's why it
anger,
was
your
garbage.
relief, or maybe your joy as a Jake Paul fan. I don't know. Let me know everything down below. Yet thanks for watching, fellas, and I'll catch you in the next one.
It was absolutely terrible. If you want to watch it, go watch my last video. I reacted to the highlights. If you want me to react to the whole video, I'll do it from the entrances all the way to the end when Logan Paul embarrassed Mike Tyson in front of the whole world. But hey, man, let me know, bro. Like, comment, subscribe.